And that school, all the students are from many different countries, like from all over the world, and there aren't many like Japanese students there. So everyone's just constantly coming in and going out because they're usually there for their parents' jobs and stuff. So because of that, and also because my friends and I travel a lot, I started taking a lot of pictures so I can capture memories of my friends who are always moving in and out. And so I also want to note before showing my object that I moved here like about a year ago, so I didn't really bring much with me. But I brought my Polaroid with me, and I've been taking this everywhere I go and just taking pictures of all my friends that I meet as much as I can because I don't know when I'll be able to see them next. So here's my Polaroid. Thank you.
You don't wait till we just go. Everyone knows. Only the first person has to wait.
Okay. Hi class, my name is Vincent Albert. I'm from here, from San Diego. This is my second year of college, and basically the object that I brought today was my baseball glove. I chose my glove because I feel like surprisingly it's something that shows kind of what the kind of person I am, and kind of the way that I take care of it and how it is. It kind of shows how I go about things, and I'd say that one thing about the glove that shows kind of how I am is the fact that it's like compared to others, other people like they try to form the glove, they care about how it is, like they do all these things to it, but I don't really like. I would say that like unlike others, I just once I get it, I kind of just play catch with it, and it it's kind of weird because usually when I get this like situation where somebody will be like, oh, can I try your glove on or something like that, like, and they'll be like, whoa, this is weird, like this isn't how it's supposed to be, like you should form this thing, it's terrible or something, but it doesn't really matter to me. I feel like it kind of symbolizes that although I don't do things the way that others do, I do it because it's the way that I like to do it, and I think that's what matters. The other thing about the glove that I feel like symbolizes me is the design to it, and I feel like that symbolizes kind of how observant I have been all my life, because I'd say ever since I was little, I would kind of watch others like on TV, players or people that I look up to, and then like if I see them doing something, or like if they use like a certain glove or they do this and that, then I know that I want to be like them or whatever, so I just try to learn from them, and then pretty much that's it.
Hi
Hi everyone, my name is Taylor Schaefer, and I just moved here like a week ago from Locker It's like 2 hours up north. I decided to leave home. It wasn't working out for me as well, so I came here with my aunt and uncle, so I live with them. It's nice. And my object today, I brought softball because my entire life surrounded by this sport. I met my closest friends through softball. A lot of my close friends I still talk to that I left play softball. I used to play at Pasadena City College, and then I decided I will be done with softball, but it just created who I am. I'm aggressive. I don't know how to call it, but everything that I've done was through softball. I couldn't go out with my friends sometimes. I couldn't go and hang out with like my family because I had softball games or I had practice. Practice are usually 3 hours long. And it's just who I am now. And that's all.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Stephanie Gonzalez. Today I brought in a wallet. This is a very distinct design. It's called típico, and it's quite common in parts of Mexico and Central America. It's a bunch of colors interwoven together. And this goes into Mayan culture, which is my culture. It's nice to know that Mayans have survived despite Spanish colonization. So this is like a little piece of my own history that I was able to bring back with me. The last time I visited Guatemala was when I was 13 years old, so it does mean a lot to me that I got the opportunity to visit. And it also serves as a reminder that I need to keep ties with my family in Guatemala. So this is something I try to maintain a priority, especially since I am growing up and I am focusing more on my career now. But yeah, this is what I've done.
Hi, I'm Georgiana Clark, and this is actually my second time in college. So I chose an item that it doesn't really represent me, but it represents a journey that represents me. This is my first bachelor's degree that I got from a for-profit college called Platt San Diego. It's in media arts for 3D animation, and it started out, before I even really got it, kind of representing the end goal. Like, yes, I'm going to get my bachelor's, it's going to be it's going to be everything I need. I'm going to have this great career. And then I got it. I'm like, yes, this is my key to success. And then after 6 months of unemployment after Platt, it started feeling like, well, I have to go into this career even though no calls, nothing from any job applications. It started feeling more like a ball and chain than a key to success. And once I reached a year of unemployment is when I decided, F this, I can't. Like, it's not possible. The college just took $70,000 from me, didn't give me any of the skills I needed. And I decided I have to go back to school. And that's when I stopped calling it my Bachelor of Science and started calling it my BS degree. Because it's basically a piece of paper at this point. Once I started school, the only good thing I got from it was because it took $70,000 to get, it was my motivation that I can't slack off at all this time. Like, I got this one with a 4.0, but it was a cred school, so that doesn't say much. But this time, if I'm not getting an A in a class, I feel like I'm failing again. And I can't let that happen. And now, I no longer have as many of the negative feelings attached to that experience. Now it's more of sort of, what was my past, I'm learning from my mistakes, but it's still my reason to work hard. and it's still my reason to do everything the right way the first time and not to waste an opportunity. So yeah, that's how my BS degree represents a journey that represents me.
Hello, my name is Kyle Carter, and I'm from the Bay Area. I'm actually not from San Diego, but I have a lot of family in Lemon Grove, so I have a lot of ties here in San Diego. Actually taking a summer class here. I'm going to school at University of San Diego. I'm supposed to graduate next year. So the object I brought in was a football, and you guys might see an ordinary football, but I see a lot of myself in this football. For one, it's brown, something that we both have in common. And two, it has a lot of battle worn, a lot of scars. And granted, this football is not brand new, but it's not too old. So it's kind of like me, where I'm 22, not too old, but still not the youngest person in the world. So I'm battle worn. Another reason why I see myself in this football is because it has a lot of character. So when I was younger, I had eczema severely all over my body, and I got made fun of a lot. So some may see that as something to take it as more of a thing to be discouraged by. But when I see a football like this, a lot of people, I see the scars, or I see the character and the history and all the plays and everything that has been put through this football. Another thing I see with this football is the experiences and the relationships I've built with people, like my coaches, my only brother I have one older brother, and he's the person who taught me how to catch. So, and if you know me, I pride myself on how well I can catch, or how well I can catch, or how great my hands are, just because I feel it's important to be able to either stop something from hitting your face or be able to just make a play. So I feel like there's a lot in me in this ball. But granted, you might notice the drawing. I also see in this a canvas. I see a way to express myself and be creative, not just on the field, but also off the field. You might notice that it matches the logo on here. This is an intramural jersey that we got for at my school that we created. We formed our own team, which is a Black men's team to a student organization, Black Men's Initiative. We chose the pharaoh as our logo, and I thought it would be appropriate to draw it on our football so people know when they see this ball flying through the air, they know who's throwing it and who's catching it. So part of our identity as being a small Black male population on a predominantly white institution, we take a lot of pride and we have a lot of fun, and it basically ultimately fostered our relationships together and made us closer as a group to where we don't even play football as much, but we do a lot more things off campus and off, like, for example, we went paintball. I probably wouldn't have been able to make those relationships if we never had made this team together. So I see a lot of experiences in myself and a lot of character that have led me to enjoy this game and be able to pass it on and share it with others. So thank you.
Hi, my name is Kaya Kreuzberg, and I've lived in San Diego all my life, Claremont area. I am about to be 18 on Friday. I have brought with me this stuffed animal. I call it Tony, or I did. That was the name of my first dog, which was a chocolate lab, so it was appropriate. I've had this dog my entire life. It's just about as old as me, and I see a lot of myself in this animal. As you can see, the fur is really matted and worn down, and that is because I was an awful toddler. Just terrible. I ran this thing through everything. God knows how many times it went through the wash. and its neck is kind of floppy, and that's because a lot of the stuffing is missing from when I got it caught on a nail in my dad's wood workshop, and I feel like it's gone through about as much surgery as I have. Because I was born with a brachial plexus injury, which basically means I lost a lot of nerves in my right arm, so I had to go through a lot with that, but it just made me more of the person I am today, and I feel like I wouldn't be as considerate of others or as understanding as I feel I am if I hadn't gone through that. And so I see a lot of myself in this stuffed animal. It's been through everything with me. I took it to every hospital, every physical therapy, every consultation with the doctor to try to figure out how to fix it, but we never got it fixed, but that's okay. I can't imagine how much longer I'll have it, but I have a feeling when I get older it'll be in a box somewhere, but I'll never forget how it helped me to just cope with everything I went through in my younger life, and even now sometimes I'll just take it out and look at it and just sort of think to myself about what to do with certain situations, either with people or with journeys I'm going through in my own life. And I think it's really important to hold something from my childhood with me close through the rest of my life so that I never forget who I was as I was growing and who I will be further on in life. Thank
What's up, everybody? I'm Seth Cardinal. It's been a long journey of ups and downs and goods and bads to get where I'm standing in front of you today. I'm from Colorado originally. I'm here to get my degree in electrical engineering, hopefully, but it's still going to be a long road. The item I brought in today was boxing gloves to describe myself as more of symbolically as a fighter. Not necessarily literally, I mean, that's true, but I haven't been punched in the face in a little while. I'm the youngest of 4 boys. Bless my mom, 4 boys, 2 male dogs, 2 male cats, and a husband. So I basically came out of the womb fighting. I boxed for about 6 years with a less than spectacular record. I spent 4 years in the Navy with over 600 days spent at sea on the trusty old Carl Vinson, or CVN 70. Cell Block 70 is what we called it. I was a mechanic for a short time. I still am, but just not professionally. That's when I got my first motorcycle, 99 Ducati Monster 900. I brought up each of these experiences because they're some of my favorite things, but all of them are strewn with difficulty and failures at some point. Whether it be the anchor of the Navy holding me at sea away from my family, busting my knuckles on another broken down POS car that I spent more money than I should have on because it could be a race car. Laying down a bike I just got, going too fast around a dark corner in La Jolla. A lump on my nose, at least 10 black eyes, and knuckle imprints that I'm pretty sure are still in my ribs. I still sail, I still wrench, I still ride, and I still lace up every chance I get. Because these are the things that I love, and I'm a fighter. If I want something, I fight for it.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Marwa Milham. I am from Palestine. I used to live in San Diego like 5 years ago, and I am a mom of 3 kids, as you see. My major is child development. I'm trying to get my education to help myself, my family, and my community. This picture reminds me of my home, my country, Palestine. I visited them last year, and this picture reminds me of my mom, my family, and everything means something important to me. That's it.
Hi everybody, my name is Lauren Johnson.
Name.
I was saying, my name is Lauren Johnson. I'm a super senior in college. I took a little bit of a twisted road to get here. I grew up in California, and I moved to Reno, Nevada for school, where I went to the University of Nevada, Reno, and served in the National Guard there, the Army National Guard. I moved back here before I could graduate, so I get to redo a couple of classes before I get my kinesiology degree. I currently work as a personal trainer and as a physical therapy aide, but I used to work as a firefighter EMT. The objects that I brought today are plaques that were awarded to me after I earned the title of valedictorian and class leader in my 2015 Fire Academy. I brought these not to brag, but they are important to me because I was the only female, and still am currently the only female valedictorian and class leader to come out of my Fire Academy. And it also has a relevant story attached to it about public speaking. These represent the first and only public speech I've had to give outside of a classroom. And I had everything written out, I had practiced, I had my uniform and my boots spotless. I went up on stage and I realized that I would rather run into 100 burning buildings before I would want to address a crowd that big of important strangers again. I choked. The nicest thing that somebody said to me afterwards was that I had great posture because I was completely frozen the entire time. I finally was able to choke out my speech and go back to my seat, did the long walk of shame up to the back of the auditorium. I haven't given any public speeches since, but I am presenting a workshop at my clinic in August, so I'm looking forward to this class and learning some new techniques so that that doesn't happen again. Thanks for listening.
Hello, my name is Paul Vandenbroek, as you can see. I'm 19. I graduated from Mission Bay High School, class of 2016. I've played water polo for about 5 years now. I even played this past year for the Mesa, and let's see. Well, I've basically lived in California all my life. When I was really young, I primarily moved around a lot. I spent some time in Santa Maria, Ontario, Fullerton. I was born in Fullerton State Hospital. I lived in Michigan for a little bit because my grandpa was dying, and we thought we were going to move out there and live there and live with some of my family. A lot of family, a lot of places, because my grandpa is actually from Ireland, so I have a lot of connections from Ireland and from California and stuff, and I just have a lot of family everywhere, and hope to have a great next 5 weeks with all of you guys and have a good time. Thank you.
So Paul, do you have I'm Nikki Mercer, and the object I brought today was just this horse statue, and it just represents like my life literally and myself figuratively too. I grew up with horses my entire life. My grandma owned 7, so we would help feed them, clean them, ride them, all that. And even when she decided to give them up, I continued by taking lessons for a while at a ranch. And just being with horses is like my happy place. Like, it's peaceful there. There's no judgment because they're horses. And it's just a place where I can like forget my problems for a while. But when taking lessons ended up being way too expensive, I figured out a way where I can still be with horses, but not have to pay money, is to volunteer. So I now currently volunteer at this therapeutic riding center for the special needs. And it's just, not only do I help with the horses, but I also help with the kids, and I like help with their lessons and talk to them, bond with them, try to get them more involved and like build up their confidence. And it's just like helping people is a passion of mine. Helping people is a passion of mine. So that's why I chose to volunteer, and also why I chose choosing physical therapy to be my career choice, which other people have mentioned too. And figuratively also, like, horses are like tamed but wild animals. Like, they're gentle creatures, but they can like bite or kick you if they choose to do so because they have animal instincts. And that just represents how there's multiple sides to everyone, including me. Like the more tamed side, like I display my reserved and quiet side in public because I'm not a very outgoing person, but like to close friends and people I'm comfortable with, I'm much more extroverted and open and carefree and just, yeah. Thank you.
How's it going, guys? I'm Emilio from San Diego. Lived here all my life. I was born literally a block away from where I live. I've been around the world a lot, but San Diego's always home, so that's why I chose to stay here for school. The reason I brought this hat is because my father gave it to me, I think about 6 years ago, and kind of just reminds me of the 2 people that have had the biggest impact on my life, which is my father and my grandfather. My father is from a pretty rough area in Panama. He came here when he was 14, and he built himself up, and he has given me everything I could have asked for. He gave me an education, and he taught me a lot of life lessons, and that being in the land of opportunity is one of the biggest blessings you could ever have, and whatever you want to be, you can be it here. And if you're going to do anything, do it passionately. That's what my father taught me. And my grandpa came from fascist Spain in the 1950s, so also from a pretty rough time and place. But he also built himself up, and he taught me a lot of the same lessons as my father. But he taught me to care about other people because at the end of the day, we don't do anything alone. You're standing on the shoulders of a lot of people at some point in your life. Never do it alone. So always care about other people. Take care of yourself. Take care of everybody around you. And I think that's a really important lesson. I think everybody has to learn at some point if they're going to go anywhere. I had this hat. It's just a hat, but it reminds me of some pretty important life lessons and some pretty great men that I aspire to be like, and I hope I can walk in the same footsteps. So yeah, thanks guys.
Oh, you can't really see it. My name's Vanessa. I was born and raised in San Diego. I chose that ring to represent me because it belonged to my grandma, and we were very close, but she passed away when I was only 7 years old, so she had a big impact on my life. I learned about death really quickly, so I became more reserved, more observant instead. Her death really affected me. I went into depression for about a year, so it really taught me how to I need to like move on and get over certain things. I'm still working on it. But I chose that ring because I would wear it on my left hand because everyone knows that this vein leads to your heart, but it's been replaced with another one. So, but I still wear it every day. I've worn it every day for 6 years because that was when I was old enough to wear it. I was mature, so I wouldn't lose it. So yeah, that's the object that represents me.
Hello guys, my name is Carla Medina, and I'm going into my second year at Mesa, and I plan to transfer to any school that accepts me. And today I brought a journal because I feel like journals represent me and who I am. And I've been journaling ever since like my sophomore year in high school, so a lot of my high school experience and my friendships have been, documented through journals. And my journals are a part of me because they are an insight to everything that I've experienced, felt, thought, and journaling is really important to me. I feel like it's great memorabilia to look back on and to reminisce on good times, bad times, and it symbolizes where I've been, what I've done, who I've met, and yeah, journals are me.
Can you guys see all these paintings? Yeah. Okay. Hi. Oh, my name. Okay. Hi, my name is Hetty Jung. I'm going to relate my life to these 3 paintings I have here. What do these 3 paintings have in common? Yeah, ocean. So the ocean symbolizes my homeland. I was born and raised on a small island off the coast of South Korea called Jeju Island. I grew up seeing many people fascinated by the rocky beaches and tropical areas in this small Jeju Island. I felt really lucky just be surrounded by the oceans in every directions, but my family just decided to leave the homeland to move to America. This country is like pretty big compared to Jeju Island, so it's really different. So the shadow symbolizes what has a darkness that symbolizes my heart, just kind of looking for the ocean life. I was growing up in a high desert community called Phelan after I moved to America. I just felt really constrained by the desert with no ocean life, pretty much, and I just kind of wanted to get out of the desert community just for a very long time. So I drove a long distance to go to the ocean for like scuba diving trip, just to be kind of connected with the ocean life. And I chose to come to San Diego to study marine biology at UCSD. But I just changed my career to physical therapy, and I got a degree in physiology and neuroscience. Even though I ended up changing my major, I still love learning about marine life. The ocean itself, it kind of symbolizes my own home, where I can visit or stay alone, just having a good quality of time, just relaxing and just thinking about my life when I get stressed out with like classes, jobs, and volunteering work. And also the ocean is just like my friend who is always available to spend time together, just to run together and share together. And the ocean also links everyone in one place. If you go to the beach, there are families, couples, runners, friends, they're all spending time. So the ocean gives inspiration, and also it gives a good opportunity for everyone to kind of enjoy the beautiful views and also the fun recreation activities like paddleboarding, swimming. So the surfboard and the painting here, it really symbolizes my interests involved with the oceans. I felt like the ocean is always with me when I go surfing, just kind of go with the ocean waves. Also, I'm a certified scuba diving instructor who has always been fascinated by the marine life, and I had an opportunity to go scuba diving in Philippines and South Korea and all over California. So while scuba diving, I saw so many colorful, marine organisms, and I was very attracted by those animals. So I just wanted to say that the ocean is vibrant and very mysterious, dangerous, but also free. And it's just kind of like my life. The ocean now, it's everywhere with me in life, and I just wanted to explore more as it brings a uniqueness and happiness to my life, and I think I will just keep my hobbies and try to be connected with it, and that's pretty much it. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Maude. I'm from San Diego. I will be a junior at the University of Utah this fall. And I brought a baseball from 2006. It's a Yankees baseball. It's an official baseball. And this means a lot to me because at this time, I was probably the biggest Yankees fan in the world. And they had my favorite player, Jorge Posada. And anything I wanted to do, I wanted to meet Jorge Posada more than anything. And they were coming to San Diego, and my dad surprised me with tickets, and it was awesome. And at Petco Park, you can walk right up to the opponent's bullpen and talk to the players. And I saw him there. I was wearing his jersey. He came up to me and he gave me this ball, and I almost pissed myself. It was so great. It was one of the best days ever. And I've had this ball ever since. And I think more than getting it from Jorge, it was my dad that actually reminds me of this ball, because every time I look at this ball, I become happy, and I realize that my dad's the center of that happiness. He's the one who bought me the tickets. He's the one who took me, and all he wanted to do was make me happy. And this ball, it means so much to me. I know everyone's like, it's just a fucking baseball, but it's really cool. I like it. It's really cool. It has just a lot of sentimental value to me. Every time I think of it, I just think I'm so lucky to have met Jorge Posada, and also to have a dad that cares about me that much, that would want to make me happy, go out of his way to make me happy. And I'm forever grateful to a man that has done a lot of great things for me. So. Thanks.
Morning, everyone. I'm Connor, born and raised in San Diego. Grew up in Poway, California. And today I brought in kind of a random object, but it's one of those like finger fidget spinners. It's been going around lately. And the three propellers here represent three major parts of my life, which would be my education, my job, and my social life. And over here, these little pegs here represent my parents and my brother. They're sort of my anchor, and between the three of them, I can really go to them. I need to talk about like anything. And then in here, if you can see, there's little balls in here, the ball bearings. That represents my best friend, who pushes me and helps me through situations when things get hard. And so, when you put those four people together, that's what really makes my world stay on track and spin.
Hello, my name is Cameron Wolt, and today I've brought in one of my water polo shirts. This shirt is special to me because I feel as if it represents me as a person. Many may think that the shirt says Cam, but it actually says Camo, which is a water polo team in Canada. I received this shirt from a player on one of the opposing teams, and that itself makes it special to me. But I have a deeper connection to this shirt that means much more than that. The shirt represents my passion and dedication for the sport, and I have devoted my life to water polo in hopes that it will carry me to the Olympics. I understand that this dream may seem a bit far-fetched, but with training and perseverance, anything is possible. I've already started climbing my way to this goal by receiving a scholarship to play Division I water polo in New York. I'm hoping to play overseas after that. In a way, I use this shirt as an inspiration to train harder and reach my goal. The water polo ball on the shirt represents two things to me. The first of which has no deeper meaning, it's yellow, and that's my favorite color. The second thing it represents to me is how far I still have to go to reach my goal. The reason it means this to me is because every time I look at the ball, I think of every mistake that I've made while playing, all of which could have been prevented or fixed with more training. So to me, it's more than just a shirt, it's a representation of my dream and what I must do to achieve it.
Morning, everyone. I'm Xavier Krukenberg. So, the object I brought with me today, I know it might seem kind of cheesy, but it is it's a picture of my beautiful family. You guys see that all right? That's me here at the bottom. Don't mistake, even though I'm cut off, I'm still the star of the family. But yeah, so, I decided to leave my index cards at my desk because it felt a little cold, so please don't count the ums. Bear with me. So first and foremost, this picture, it's a day from Knott's Berry Farm. I'm really young in that picture. I'm like less than 2 years old, so I don't remember it very much. But every time I look at it, it just brings me joy knowing that that's a memory that I've created with my family. So what we're going to do, we're going to go ahead and start off with my brother. that is this one right here. He's my older brother. He's 2 years older than me. From everybody in my family, I've learned something extremely important from. With my brother, it's the importance of listening. You know, he was always the good child. I was kind of the rambunctious, wild child, you know, the one that never listened, but he was always the only one that listened, you know, followed directions, all that crazy stuff. You know, I never did, but, you know, he always told me as a kid, if you don't listen, you don't know. And, you know, I just thought he was rambling because I was 2 years old, thought I knew everything, 10 years old, thought I knew everything. But now I apply that to my life. You know, my brother is also the first person that I ever told that I was gay. You know, if you guys have siblings, brothers and sisters, you guys know the bond that you guys have with siblings is irreplicable. And yeah, next we're gonna go with my mom. You see the beautiful woman with the terrible haircut. Keep in mind this is like 1990s, so really old picture. But from my mom, I've gained a level of confidence that couldn't be altered by any other being. You know, my mom is the most beautiful person I know, and she knows it as well. If you guys met my mom, she's the most extra person in the world. Like, no joke, she's wild. She takes more selfies than I do at this point. But I'm so thankful that she's demonstrated what it's like to be confident, love the skin you're in, and be proud to show it to the world. Because that's something that I've developed in my life, and that's something nobody else could ever change. And lastly, we have my best friend, my confidant. You know, I call him my own personal Wikipedia, knows everything. We have my dad. You know, my dad has taught me wisdom that I feel surpasses my years. You know, he's taught me about the journey of acceptance, strength, and reconciliation. You know, my dad has taught me a lot. I'm so thankful for everybody that I have in my family. You know, this picture is more than just a picture of a memory that I don't remember. It's my family. You know, it's a journey that we've all been through. And I'm so glad that I have these people in my life. You know, I like to think of life as you go through a lot of rebuild phases. You know, everybody can attest, you rebuild a lot, right? We're all pretty young, but you go through rebuild phases. And I'm glad that no matter how many times I'm going to have to rebuild, I'll never have to rebuild the foundation that my family set for me. That's it.
Hey everyone, I'm Fabio. I brought my two passports. The one is Spanish, the one is German. That symbolized me growing up in two different cultures. I grew up in a small town in Germany, and I wasn't really welcome there because I had dark hair and I had dark eyes. So I didn't really have a lot of friends. They kind of didn't want me, they didn't accept me. So for me, back in the day when I was that young, for me kind of sucked. I just wanted to be like one culture German. I just wanted to be accepted. As I got older, I slowly started to embrace myself and be thankful for growing up in two cultures. I moved to Munich, which is like the second biggest city in Germany. It is a very multicultural city. So a lot of mixed kids around me became my friends, and people were more accepting of different cultures, races, and ethnicities. People were more interested in me. I made more friends. I felt welcome and good. So I was really proud of my two different cultures that I grew up with and my parents. So I moved to the US, to San Diego 2 years ago, which made me grow up in another culture. And right now I feel like it's the best thing you can do to learn about new cultures every day. And at 24, I learned it to be a blessing to be biracial and bilingual, and I could be more proud of my background. That made me, I have learned to accept and appreciate every culture in the world. I'm more open-minded and social to people. And the best thing about this, that I made so many friends all around the world since I lived in 3 different countries the last 4 years, meaning that I always have a place to go, and I always have friends all around the world and a place to stay. Yeah, thanks.
Hi, my name is Carrie Ann, and I brought in my running shoes today. in looking for something that represented me, I decided that these would be it. In looking back, I actually started running when I was in college. By nature, I was a swimmer growing up and through high school and in college. But in college, I happened to be dating a boy who was a complete waste of air. And at the recommendation of a friend of mine, she said, "Why don't you go for a run?" And I thought, you must be delusional, because as a swimmer, you don't really run. I mean, you do cross training and cross sports like that, but running, I mean, unless it was for my life, I was not about to go for a run. But I did. And I didn't even make it around our quarter track, which was in the Trask Coliseum. But I kept going, and I felt like if I could make it to pair number 2, then I probably would have accomplished something and maybe corrected the problem in my life. And I did. I dropped the waste of air, but I kept running. And in looking back, I think the running shoes now, as you can see them, this is pair number 21 for me, has gotten me through a lot. I met and married my husband, who happens to be a helicopter pilot in the Navy. So for 7 moves in 10 years, 5 deployments and counting, the birth of our daughter, Iran, and just the general ebb and flow that is life. I find that the running shoes are always there. They're, whether it's rain or sleet, snow, or the dead heat of August, that I can pick them up and go for a run. Sometimes I don't enjoy it, and sometimes I do. And that leads me to where I am today. I am an athletic trainer by trade, so I have a degree in sports medicine and a master's in exercise phys. But with moving out here a year ago for his current duty station, I decided that I wanted to go on to become a nurse practitioner. And in doing research for that, I realized that I missed one class, or I don't have one class, which happens to be public speaking. And it couldn't have been something like microbiology or organic chemistry or biochemistry. All of those I have, but no. So that's why I'm here. I was slightly frustrated that I needed to take Public Speaking 101, but here I am. But in lacing up my shoes, I realized that I needed a bit of an attitude adjustment, and there was only one road that leads into those programs. So that would be this class, and that's why I'm here. So my running shoes. That's what I
You guys see that? Hi guys, my name is Erin, and I currently live in San Diego and have lived here pretty much all my life. I brought in a necklace that I recently received from my dad for my 20th birthday, but it actually is originally from my great-grandma, who I never got to meet, but she traveled here when she was 14 from these little islands off of Portugal called the Azores. And unfortunately, I never got to meet her, but this is important to me because it represents my heritage. And although I don't look it in the slightest, I'm actually very Portuguese. And I live in Point Loma, which, if any of you guys know, is a very tight-knit, small Portuguese community. And when I graduated high school, I decided I wanted to move to Michigan and go to the University of Michigan to get my athletic training degree. And I got there and was there for 4 months and decided that I was way too far from home, which I actually attribute a little bit to living in such a small, tight-knit community. I have a great family, and so that's a little bit a part of my journey, in that I thought I wanted to go away from home, and I thought I was this big traveler, this big, strong, independent girl, and I realized how important my family is to me. And now I currently go to Point Loma Nazarene University, which is a block from where I grew up. And it's just a little bit funny how my whole life came full circle. And I brought in this necklace because I think that my Portuguese heritage and being from such a small community has really brought me back home, which is where I need to be.
I'm Esmeralda. So I moved to San Diego 3 years ago from Azusa, California. Even though it's only 2 hours north, it's very different than San Diego. I came to San Diego to go to Point Loma Nazarene University. Probably the hardest thing about that was that it is a predominantly white school, and I'm not used to that at all. Until then, like, I never really had like a white friend even. So after a while, I started kind of feeling bad about myself. It was hard for me to make friends. I noticed that I talked differently. Until then, I didn't even know I had an accent until people started pointing it out. I dress differently, my interests are different, and my culture is different. My parents, they are on the right side. You can't really see my mom. They immigrated from, well, my dad from Nicaragua and my mom from Guatemala. They came as teenagers. My dad was 20 and my mom was 17. So they had to be very independent. They didn't fit in either. What kept me going as a freshman, because I mean now I'm comfortable with myself, but as a freshman was that they came here not knowing anything, not even knowing English, and at least I knew that. If they could do it, then I knew I could do it too. And even now, like learning to be an adult and everything, I think I learned my like strength and my independence from them. And that's my sister getting married. She was always someone who I could talk to, and she's a very proud person. So freshman year, I wasn't like proud of myself at all, or the person who I was, or my skin, or anything like that. So I think I was able to learn to be a little bit more like prideful about myself, and not in a negative way at all. And then my brother, he actually went to Point Loma Nazarene as well, and he had explained that I wasn't gonna like the school, especially my freshman year, because we don't fit in. It is a 70% white school, so, or 60% white school, so it's hard. Now not as much, and since he was here my freshman year, I think he made it a lot easier, and I always had someone to go back to and talk to whenever I was like feeling down or anything. And yeah, thank you.
Hello, my name is Rachel Hernandez, and I graduated high school 2015 from Bonita Vista, and I was born in the Bay Area, but I've been living in San Diego for almost 15 years probably. Alright, so first and foremost, I'd like to state that I'm not trying to impose any radical ideology or hope I do not offend anyone's beliefs talking about the topic of my speech. Okay. Coming out and speaking openly to a room full of strangers about this subject I never saw myself doing, but here I am. So today, I chose, you all know what this is, the gay pride flag, as something that represents me and is important to me in high school. Crush for this girl on the varsity basketball team. And as stereotypical as it sounds, this was the first feeling that puzzled me for the rest of my high school years. Dealing with this in high school was never easy, and I became insecure, felt the need to conform with other people's ideas of the norm, and fitting into society was something that I still wanted to do at the time. So not only does this flag represent gay pride, but to me it represents hope and optimism. And graduating high school, I was still at a standstill at life. First semester, dealing with my family, dealing with finding out who I was, and finding a new path for my career. My grades were not good at all. They were honestly subpar, and not to be cliche, but the quote, "At the end of a storm, there's a rainbow," really applied to me after that first semester. Connecting with other people in the LGBT community and creating lifelong friends, I realized that I'm not the only person in history who has dealt with this struggle. I became hopeful and pulled my grades up, life got better. Lastly, to me, this flag represents diversity and unity. What provokes me the most in our nation today is that the violence and hate crimes have become increasingly prominent. And today I'm now interested in the complexity of human diversity and like learning about culture, values, race, and multi-racism to try and understand aspects that make us all unique. In the end, unity comes from being human and realizing we are all just human. In summary, this flag reminds me that I'm completely satisfied and happy with how things have played out in my life. I'm 20 now, I accept myself. I honestly don't know if my family would accept me because I haven't come out yet. But holding this flag today means that I will continue to actively support LGBT community, remain optimistic about my future, and recognize that each of us is unique, yet unified in some way or another.
Is that everyone? All right, give yourself applause. You just earned it.
Just nervous if you guys can't say it. Morning, class. So an important object to me is a cell phone. Main reason it's important to me is because I'm the only person in my family that actually lives in San Diego, and I have family throughout the U.S., so it keeps me connected to them. Another reason is being former military. I have friends around the world, so it keeps me connected to them. And the last reason is because it's a lot smarter than me. If I ever have a question, I ask Google. It usually knows the answer. If I'm lost, I ask Google Maps, and it finds my way home. And that is why the cell phone is important to me. Have a good day. Okay? Yeah. I probably erased that.
No, leave it that way. It's another person.
Oh, okay.
Good morning. My name's Kelly. Am I okay to go? Yeah. Okay. So my object is my guitar. It was actually passed on to me from my dad. He had it. It was his first guitar in the '70s. It's important to me because it's kind of the way I like express myself and like get through stuff, and I feel like it like represents me because it's portable and I'm like always on the go and always traveling and stuff. There's a lot of like memories and stuff attached to it, which is really cool. I like that it's like soft, but it's also like dynamic. Music is just like awesome. It's like healing, and I feel like it brings people together. And I like that it has this like there's so many different ways to manipulate it, and there's like different sides to it and stuff, and that's kind of like me. Like there's a lot of different components about me. I feel like it helps me like overcome kind of fears of like public speaking and stuff, because you kind of have to be vulnerable and stuff when you're playing and singing. I just grew up around music, like with my dad and stuff, but like this has always been like my go-to instrument. I played piano for a little while at first, but I kind of grew attached to this